Ben, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Really good. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's almost 10 o'clock at night here in Malaysia, so I'm 8 hours ahead of you right now. So it's almost bedtime for me.
Yeah, that is bedtime.
Couldn't say no to the opportunity to speak to you though. Have you ever been to this part of the world? I mean, pre-COVID and all of that, on holiday or anything?
Do you know what? I haven't, um, but it's somewhere that I probably would like to go. I would like to get a fair few places ticked off, like in terms of visiting, traveling. So yeah, why not?
As long as you can handle the spicy food, I think you'll be a-okay. Let's talk a little bit about your career. I mean, you're living the dream right now. Your manager is Carlo Ancelotti. He's one of the most famous, most well-regarded managers in world football. What's it like for you to be under his tutelage?
Yeah, it's great. I think, obviously, he's worked with some um, unbelievable players and had an unbelievable career himself. So to work under him is I'm so fortunate enough to do so, and I'm learning each and every day. So yeah, I'm really grateful to work under him, and I'm really enjoying it.
This season has been a real baptism of fire for you, the way it started, Merseyside derby and all of that. And what was it like for you? How did you know you're going to be playing? How were you feeling inside before kickoff?
Yeah, I mean, initially I was on the bench initially as a substitute, and unfortunately Seamus Coleman went down with an injury, and I was told to sort of to get ready and come on, and yeah, I didn't expect to make my debut so soon. That was pretty much my first week at the club, so to make my debut in such a massive occasion for everyone at the club, and it was a real proud moment for me and my family, and a day I'll never forget.
Were you nervous at all? You must have been.
Yeah, I think nerves come in different ways. I think there's some negative nerves that can affect you, and some positive ones. So it was more sort of excitement nerves, really. I always look forward to big occasions in football.
Do you pay any attention to all the positive comments and feedback that have been coming your way from ex-professional footballers? I've worked with quite a few. Sylvan Distan, Leon Osman, John Heitinger, all who have worn the blue of Everton in previous years. And everybody speaks so highly of you. Do you pay any heed to what's being said?
I always seem to get, I get told and catch glimpses of what people say now and then, and it's obviously really nice to have people who've had such great careers say positive things about me and what I'm doing at the minute. And that just encourages me to keep improving, keep working hard, and keep trying to play well. But yeah, obviously I'm really appreciative of some of the kind comments that such players have had to say about me.
You've shown yourself to also be pretty versatile as a player. We saw you play as a left back, even though you're right-footed. Do you regard yourself as a versatile player? I mean, do you have a preference for where you play on a pitch?
I think naturally I'm a centre back. I think that that's the position that I've played mostly in my professional career so far. Um, but I've got attributes which allow me to play in other positions when I'm needed to do so, and I don't mind where the manager puts me. I'll try my best to help the boys get 3 points in any game that I'm involved in. So yeah, I'm naturally a centre back, but I'll do my best anyway.
What about when you were youngster at, say, York? I mean, before you became a professional, were you always a defensive player? Were you always a centre back? Or did you play? I read that you were a midfielder at one point, even.
Yeah, I was more so a midfielder growing up. I mean, as a real young kid, I was a striker, so I've eventually just got further and further back. But yeah, I was probably a midfielder more so in my sort of teenage years, and making well actually early on in my professional career, I was a centre midfielder as well, and then probably at Norwich I was advised that centre back would probably be my best position to go further in my career. So yeah, I would back myself as more of a centre back now.
Who have been the other big influences in you from a managerial perspective, uh, right from your early days to where you are now, apart from Carlo Ancelotti, obviously?
I've been really fortunate enough to work under some great managers. You've got it's hard to name them all. I first went to Norwich under Alex Neil, and you know, then Daniel Farker at Norwich and Paul Hurst at Shrewsbury when I went on loan. Every single manager, you know, and there'll be managers that I've missed out as well along the way, and I've just been so fortunate enough to work under people who've had, you know, played their role in played their parts in my career, and all done their bit. So, you know, just so thankful for every manager's time that they've given me.
Speaking of managers, I've noticed while you're speaking, you're doing the Carlo Ancelotti. You're raising the eyebrow quite a bit, which I find quite amusing that he's your manager and the eyebrows coming up. I know it's entirely subconscious on your end, but when Bernard scored that winner, the injury time winner in the cup, and Carlo Ancelotti is sipping the coffee, what did the boys make of that? What did the team make of that? That is as cool as you like.
We didn't notice it. Obviously, we were busy celebrating, but I think the way that the game was going, I think as he and as did we, to be honest, on the pitch, we thought there was going to be plenty more goals in that game. So I just think he tried to not get too excited, and I think he mentioned it in an interview as well. He was freezing, so he was just focusing on warming himself up.
And is he always that cool and composed, even in the confines of the dressing room? Is he always such a cool customer?
Yeah, he is. I think that's something that I picked up straight away as soon as I came, how relaxed he is in any situation. I think it's such a great characteristic of his, and it's so important, and it sort of rubs off on you as well. You know, it's great.
He's doing an exceptional job at Everton. I think everybody can see that. But how would you describe his preferred brand of football, his style and his tactics?
He adapts, to be honest. He adapts to opponents and the situation of games. You know, I think he's got it all, and I think that's shown throughout his career. If you compare, he can get you to play expansive football and attacking football, or be more assured and tighter as a team and see a game out. He's got the ability to get the team doing whatever is suitable. You know, and he very rarely gets the tactics wrong. It's great to work under.
I just love the chalk and cheese contrast. You've got Duncan Ferguson, and then you've got Carlo Ancelotti, two very different people, but both who've been able to get the best out of players and individuals on the pitch. I need to ask, is a Duncan Ferguson hug that tight? Because it looks like it could crush me to a pulp.
Yeah, his hugs they could squash you. He's a big guy as well. No, he's passionate. It's important to have different characters around the football. I think it's important on the pitch and off the pitch. So, you know, every single person involved does their bit. But yeah, Duncan's he's a great guy, and obviously a club legend as well, which is nice to have around.
Yeah, been at the clubs for so long. A lot of memories with him. Just a couple of things since you mentioned off the pitch. What does Ben Godfrey like to do in his free time?
Well, I think in the current situation, there's not a lot we can do. Obviously, we're pretty limited, but I tend not to do a lot, especially with the amount of games that we've got. I sleep a lot, play FIFA. Yeah, I mean, my life outside of football's not all that exciting really. So I just try and rest up and recover the best I can.
This might seem strange, but growing up, I always used to create myself in Football Manager or FIFA. You don't have to do that because you are a playable character in the game. Do you always have yourself in a team?
I mean, FIFA don't really often make me as good as I'd like them to, so sometimes I have to miss myself out. But a couple of my young family members they buy me on it and stuff like that. But yes, I mean, hopefully they can make me a bit better so I can start including myself in my teams a lot more.
I can guarantee, given your performances this year, your rating is going to go up a lot for the next edition of FIFA, whenever it comes out later this year.
I would hope so. I hope the pace attribute goes up a fair few as well. It's about time that came up.
Is that the first thing you look for?
Yeah, it is, yeah.